This year, I took Nicky Haslam, the top interior decorator, to Chelsea Flower Show, partly as a thank you for being on my podcast, but also to get his views on what's out there. I brought you to David Austin. This is David Austin Jr., the legendary David Austin. Son of legend or legend?
Son of legend, definitely.
And legend.
You know, my
and legend.
No,
yes.
no.
Yes.
Thank you.
Emma Bridgewater is with us, who you know
Ultimate
well.
legend.
She is the legend.
A legend
And
again.
you made her legendary by giving her no rose lid.
It's the most exciting thing I could possibly imagine.
And how long have you got it in your garden now? This new rose.
Yes.
We're all talking about
I've got it flowering in my garden.
Really?
See you later on.
Okay.
And when did it start flowering?
Last week.
Last week.
First flower.
And it's been so
This is
cold.
normal.
I reckon in a
Actual flowering.
normal year,
I think it'll do
it would flower earlier, wouldn't you
No,
think?
I think
Oh,
this is
really?
an
May.
early season. This is an early season, not a late season. For us, certainly where we are in the country, definitely
you're
early.
not about the same.
Not by much. Not by much.
Sussex, are you? Suffolk.
Shropshire.
The Midlands,
Oh, the
West
Midlands.
Midlands.
Yes.
Where the Manfords
Well,
come
where
from.
people where people work hard. Very near the potteries. You were neighbours, hard-working neighbours.
So, David, you were saying that you have bred and trialled this for 12 years. You've extended the period to bring them in. So we know when we plant them, they're not going to fall down with black spot and rust.
Exactly.
And
yes.
how tall, if you're Emma, how tall do you think this is going to grow?
We showed you Emma's rose, which was 4 years old at the time. It was about this high. What's that?
What a buxom girl.
4 feet, something
Yes.
like that.
I like to think.
I like
Buxom girl.
I like that. Yes, that's nice. With a
Yes.
nice
She's
shape.
quite a big girl.
Yes. Now, I don't like these sticky roses that are thin and sticky, and you have to put lots together, and they don't form the same nice, generous feel. So, is it just one introduction this year?
Just one this year.
That's good. I think that's nice, and it looks to me a bit like a mutabilis because it's got the apricots, the planks, the purple. It's lovely, and it's free flowering.
That's a lovely association because there's no better rose than mutabilis,
No.
is it?
It's one of my absolute favourites.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I love
very
it.
free flowering, very
We
free flowering.
grow it under a clump of cork oaks that are 6-7 metres tall, and it flowers like stink in that shade and dry. You just can't believe it.
Can't beat it. Yeah.
Can't beat it. And how long will that flower for from now?
4 to 6 weeks, and then you'll have flower on it most of the year.
Yes,
but
in
then
the
they'll have
growing period.
In the growing period, and then again in September you get another really big flush.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Yeah.
Isn't that heaven?
Yeah. I love
These are
roses.
such amazing roses.
Yeah, yes, yeah. I've grown a few in my time, and
Exactly. Haven't we all? I mean, they're so reliably.
Yeah.
I used to get from the hunting lodge.
So you used to get what?
From him for the hunting lodge.
Oh, did you? Yeah. I think everybody. It's a bit like your crockery. Is in everybody's kitchen.
I can't imagine a bigger compliment. That is a very, very, very lovely thing to say. I mean, yes, my mother, my grandmother, both really good and keen gardeners, absolutely believed in David Austin roses. They just said they don't let you down.
No, they're wonderful, I have to say. But so, Nicky, we're doing is this good, possible, or not in my backyard for this rose? For this rose.
I double dare you.
Well, I would like to have Emma Bridgewater herself in my backyard. so of course I want the roses in my backyard too. So mine is a backyard, so it would be a backyard. So one has to say best, really, because we know that David Austin roses are the best. So
Yeah. It's lovely. I'll certainly be putting in an order
and
for
the
these.
scent. I wish you could serve the scent on them.
It's lovely.
On the
Yes.
on the
Yeah.
mobile. The scent
Really
is
nice.
extraordinary.
Nicky, so this is the courtyard, the Roman courtyard, the atrium that the Newts have done.
Yeah.
And all the planting here is from 75 AD, which I think is pretty impressive because it is one hell of a show, isn't it?
Yes. It looks like the Getty Museum in California to me.
You mean by that the columns?
The whole thing looks like the Getty Museum.
Really?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
Well, they've done.
So you think it's a bit of plagiarism, do you? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's not plagiarism. It's just quite like it.
I have to say, I always love these inward-looking courtyard spaces, don't you?
Yeah.
Because they are, and when they're full of green like
But I
that,
think
they
what,
really
what
lift.
fatal is these ghastly murals.
You don't like
Those. I like quite like
the
top
ones
ones.
along the top.
at
I think the ones along
they're
the
nice.
top.
Those ones look sort of Disney-esque.
Yeah,
Great
okay.
mistake, aren't they?
But what do you think of the water? So all
I
the way
love
down
the-
the
I
road,
love the
just
dripping
dropping
water.
down into the rail,
Wonderful.
and then in the corners we've got these little bowls.
Mountains.
And what are the little trays of logs? What is that all about?
There may be like very scented logs that smell wonderful in the evening.
I see. Right, so the colour scheme, a lot of yellow here, Nicky. You're not a fan of yellow.
Well, I think it's quite Roman.
Oh, right. So it's okay when it's with the Roman context.
yeah.
Okay, lovely. And if you're going to say good, possibly...
Like the birds do.
Oh, little touches. You're observant, aren't you? I didn't notice that because I was pulled to that. So if you were judging it and we had good, possibly not in my backyard, where will you put this one?
Hi, Alex. How are you? You know each other. Alex Hoyle.
Hi, Alex Hoyle.
Buddy Guinness.
We're just filling, and I was just asking Nicky. We're judging everyone. Nicky is the prime judge of taste. And so we're saying, is it good, possibly, or not in my backyard? And what was your response, Nicky? He has yet to give the verdict.
I think possibly.
Oh, you think possibly?
That's praise indeed.
Yeah, I
It's
would
quite,
give...
it's quite a number to have your back to have to put up, isn't it?
Nicky, I thought I'd bring you to Andrew Martin's stand. You're an old buddy of Andrew Martin's.
There he was. Well, there he
There,
was.
there
He's
he
gone.
was. There he was.
He's coming back.
Because I know that you're not always keen on outdoor sofas, and I love outdoor sofas.
Well, I just mean what I can't bear is when people put indoor sofas out of doors.
Well, would you call these indoor sofas out
No,
of doors?
I call them made for out of doors.
Made for out of doors. And
But there's something awful about. It's funny that outdoor furniture is wonderful indoors, and indoor furniture is awful outdoors as a general rule.
Well, the thing is, the outdoor sofas now look often a bit like indoor sofas.
Yes.
So, I do think that people can enjoy reclining in a comfy outdoor sofa so much more than any chair, wooden chair.
Yes, because how long does one spend in a sofa out of doors?
Oh, I tell you, my husband would spend all day on the sofa
Well,
outdoors.
he wouldn't have got a sunburn.
You're just being cantankerous. But anyway, I always think Andrew Martin does great stands at Chelsea. Last year he did amazing columns and statues. This year he's got these wonderful dead trees.
The kind of smell of Thailand is wonderful.
Yes, it is, it
There's
is.
Thai curry on the office.
And his structure above. How do you find the very rustic structure with the modern?
It's from Thailand.
Yeah, it's good
Wonderful.
stuff, isn't it? Wonderful.
Yeah.
So,
Is
we're...
that real bougainvillea?
It is bougainvillea.
That's the Bailey.
Yeah.
Is it real?
Amazingly enough, in a land of fate, the bougainvillea is real.
Oh, that's very
Isn't that
good.
extraordinary?
That is very good, yeah. But how do you get up there?
Well, we had a ladder, but the health and safety people did not like this.
Seriously?
They did not.
So now you can't get up there.
You can't get up unless you climb up the back. I think you could climb up the tree.
I could. I'd shinny up there, no problem.
Yeah.
I tell you, we did a tree house at Chelsea one day, the first ever tree house. And on press day, we had a ladder and we had 24 people from the press up that ladder in the tree house platform, all with champagne and high heels. And I seriously thought we were going to have a major disaster on our hands.
Yeah.
I tell you, you're actually probably better off without the ladder because they'd all be up there knocking back champagne, falling on your sofas.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, but you do wonder if the structure will take it, and I was seriously concerned about mine. Yours looks a lot more rigorous than mine was.
They're not as soft as outdoor stuff.
Well, the outdoor fabrics have completely changed.
You think it's really nice soft, the cushions on this? Yeah.
I think it looks wonderful.
Yeah. So when we're judging...
Don't you think really that outdoors you're only allowed furniture if it was designed by Lutchers?
Sort of, yes.
Which is not comfy.
which is not comfy. But that one...
I rather hate those Dutch Spencer.
Because you see them too often.
Interesting.
I agree.
Well, you see them too
everywhere.
often because they're a classic.
Yeah.
But you too many classics.
They also are deeply uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, there is that. But that's...
Especially if you haven't got well-clothed buttocks.
Well, you've got a fetish about
I have, because if you haven't got lots of cover, I tell you, they're so uncomfy. And I damaged my coccyx in a skiing accident years ago. So anything you sit
they
on
wouldn't have again.
hard, you know. So I love an outdoor sofa.
Are
but-
you happy being opposite this pretty copper land?
Very happy, Nicky.
So opposite, there's this extraordinary copper sculpture, and I gather from Nicky's reaction that they are not his number one. But Nicky, back to this one. If you're going to say good, possibly not in my backyard, which would you do this?
Certainly good.
Certainly good. Well done, Andrew. You've got a
you,
good
Nicky.
from Nicky Haslam. I
Yeah.
hope you have a fantastic
And
show.
there's no better endorsement than
Well,
the man
Yes, from the interior designer of the year.
of many years.
Of many
actually,
years.
actually.
Okay.
I wish
right.
it was in my backyard, is all I can say.
So this year, the judges, they've got a new category, and one panel is composed of children. And it's what children think of the garden. So it'll be interesting to see
This is the
how...
this is the least childlike garden they could ever see.
I don't think they'll like this one.
I think they might. You don't think
They'll love
it?
it, but it's not childlike.
I think
might
they'll
make-
love it.
It might make them grow up fast. And so they should. They're lucky to see this. Ravishing, this garden. It really
It's
is.
ravishing. I've wondered what you would think of this, because it is undoubtedly, I would say, the most formal, traditional type garden that you've seen so far.
Yeah.
So Robert, you're doing the redesigning the gardens there. Robert Myers is the landscape architect, is redesigning the gardens there.
Well, at
And-
the church.
At the church.
Oh,
And
is
so
there a
this
lot of
is...
Is there a lot of space? Is there, in front, I suppose.
There's a space in front,
Piccadilly.
and there's what's called Southwood Garden, which is rather hidden, and we're above the west door.
Oh, really?
And part of the project is actually to make the churchyard more accessible, so opening up a new entrance from Jermyn Street, so people will actually be able to walk through the churchyard and
Oh,
discover
how
that
wonderful.
garden.
Yeah.
And so part of our project is to restore and replant the garden. There's a new building going in there, and we have the new drop-in counselling building, which is
Yes.
going to be replacing the little shepherd's hut.
Judge should be in like a shop.
We'll be
Yeah.
designers queuing up around the door, I think. after Chelsea.
After today, yes, for sure. But I have to say, it's a very successful garden, isn't it? And because what I like is the brickwork, Nicky. Now, do you know what is done to give it that aged look, the brickwork, so they don't look very new?
I know, I saw on telly last night, they're painted by hand, each one of them.
With Mylan's black stainers mixed with water, heavily diluted.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd write that tip down because it seemed really good. You were talking about the vase, the lovely stone urn.
It's wonderful. That
Yeah. And we think it's a snake eating itself?
Well, that's eternity, isn't it?
That's right.
In the Bible.
I see,
I don't
I
quite know
see.
the provenance of the urn, but it's been in St James for a long time.
Oh, right. And nobody knows where it
Quite
came
known.
from.
It's probably the early 19th century.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's 30th century, isn't it? Yeah.
Right. And the water feature is just simple, cool. The stone, that lovely shelly. I didn't realise that's Portland stone because it's beautifully shelly. Often it's quite white and flat looking. But that's a really lovely bed. The scale, it's good, isn't it? With the dramatic window.
Yeah, and the low beds, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And the dramatic palm tree, after all.
but you say there's no palm tree.
No, I say that there is a palm tree, I can see it.
But in the
At St.
actual
James's-
garden.
No, but we saw a palm tree at St Dunstan's in the east, which is another Wren church that was
Oh,
bombed
really?
in the war and replanted as reimagined as a
I
garden.
noticed
And it had
Dunstan's.
this amazing palm tree. It just looked so right.
Yeah.
And I thought it'd be fun to bring it here. And we're thinking about trees for the future, and this would work really well if in a hotter, drier,
Oh, I see. So you're looking forward
In our,
as well.
in our
Yeah.
new
our
climate.
new climate.
Yeah.
Which heaven knows what's going to happen. But
So you've done a fair few Chelsea gardens now, haven't you?
this is our 10th.
10. So you were very relaxed when I saw you on Friday during build up, and you're very relaxed now, very happy
it's
with
all a
it.
facade. Yes, it's yes. I think after the judging, after the results, we can relax. But it's great to actually have finished it and
Yeah.
spend time in it actually as well.
Yeah, and it's Project Giving Back have put up all the money
Yeah.
for this. Yeah,
Amazing,
no,
yeah.
it's really nice. So Nicky, good, possibly, or not in my backyard. What would you give it?
I mean, the good isn't good enough. Excellent.
Excellent. Gosh, you're very generous. It's the sunshine. I agree. I think it's lovely. It'll be interesting to see what the
Particularly that-
judges think, because it's so nice, I think, to
Wonderful
have some
coloured
formal
iris.
gardens that people can take bits home for. And a lot of them, because they're for charities, Terence Higgins or whatever, they seem to be really not applicable to many people's gardens because they're banging the drum about something.
Yeah.
But this, I think, would, you can pick up ideas, can't you, quite happily. I like your little edging for the bed, your planting's calm. No, it's come together really well.
Planting is sort of accessible. People could imagine this in their own gardens. There's a recognisable plants,
Exactly.
relatively simple,
Exactly.
Yeah,
relatively low maintenance.
because a lot of them are these just big whopping drifts of 600 different plants thrown in, and you actually really difficult, impossible to maintain. Yes, lovely. Thank you very much, Robert. Nicky, I brought you to Tom Bannister's garden because I think this is ingenious.
So do
I
I.
really do. So this is concrete.
Yeah.
Feel this, Nicky.
Quite extraordinary, isn't it?
Very light, very durable, down to -30. And what he's done is he makes it, and he's offered to come and make me one in my garden by mixing coir into the concrete, and that's why it's so light, but it's also durable.
What old carpets, you mean, are all coir from somewhere special?
I imagine he gets it from somewhere special that's probably cheaper than old carpets. They're difficult to find, aren't they, in that scale? And then he hand finishes them, and you can go on hand finishing them sometime after you've set them.
Yeah.
And
That's interesting.
so that means that you can change it, you can
You
carry on
sort of move it
aging
around.
Yeah. And you
Yeah.
see, these are beautifully finished, I think. And you wouldn't think it was stone, but you wouldn't quite know what it was. It doesn't look like concrete to me, does it to you?
No,
But he's called
it's
it
almost more like coral.
coral. Well,
Like sort of,
pumice, perhaps?
yeah.
Something
Well,
like
that's a bit
that.
like coral.
Yeah, maybe. And he's hand finished the inside of that rill. But he's calling it cocoa pots,
Oh,
which I think is anyway, that's what the name he's registered, cocoa pots, because of the cocoa. But nothing like the breakfast seal, which is cocoa pops. And the ice bath is what I hope he's going to make for me, which is that big tank.
Yes, wonderful.
Wonderful. So I'm going to get out of my sauna, run down and jump in that ice bath. And
There's a sauna in there.
no, he probably has one for the show, but that would be my ideal. But it's very beautiful little design, don't you think? It's very tranquil, clever little details, nicely finished, and you just want to spend time here.
Yeah, go on anybody's patio.
Anybody's patio or terrace. And if you were going to say...
Look at the moss.
Yeah, he's done it quite artfully, hasn't he? Added the little touches. So if you were saying good, possible, or not in my backyard, which
Good,
would you
good,
give it?
definitely
good.
good.
Yeah, I'm
Definitely
definitely. I'm
good.
with you there. So that's great. So I'm looking forward to him coming and showing me how to make them, how he does it, and
Yeah.
making my own ice bath. Nicky, we've brought you to this stand because I thought you'd love the funky colours. You're a big colour man, aren't you?
Yeah, yes, I am, but I've also seen the chart of what she's got. This charming lady. What's your name? Annabelle.
Annabelle. So Annabelle, you made this.
Babe who makes it has got the most wonderful colours, and I'm mad about mauve, so I'm very pleased to see this one called Norfolk Lavender.
Where did you see the name, Norfolk Lavender?
I know things like this, you know, I'm very
Oh,
clever.
that one is Norfolk Lavender.
Yeah,
That is a good, that colour chart, that is a very good colour with stone, do you
yeah.
think, and brick.
Yeah, well, it's good colour with anything. There's no
Yeah.
colour like mauve, it's the most beautiful colour in the world.
Nicky, would you do one colour for your bunch
this?
if you're having 3 or 4 pieces of this lovely
I do
furniture?
one colour. One colour. Mauve.
Right,
Mauve.
but
I
you
don't
wouldn't
mauve.
always use both, would you? You might change your palette
I
sometimes.
quite like that sort of khaki one up in the middle. That
There.
one, yes.
That, and the one next to it, do you
Those are
like?
both. Well, the
Yes.
one next to is a little bit too muddy, I think. The one next to that on the left is very nice.
That, the sort of pale khaki.
Yeah.
Yes. You see, you would think that I'm dreadful, but with my furniture, I've got brightly coloured furniture. And I've got all different colours mixed together.
I'm
Or
sure
sometimes
that people love it. I know that. You know,
But you don't.
I'm a little bit more classical. But this is what's so nice. It looks classical, but it's fun.
But exactly, that's what I love about colour. But so it's metal, galvanised steel, and then they've acid etched it and painted it, presumably. And so it's a pretty long life finish. Your friend Ricky, you're so popular. We get into the showground and every other person stops and says, "Can we have an autograph?" "Oh, Nicky, I haven't seen you for at least 6 years." It's like non-stop. Who's ringing you now? It's probably the Queen. Do you think you should get it?
I've missed it.
I love the picture. But anyway, so we're gonna, with all these exhibits that we've selected, Nicky, we thought we would do good, possibly, or not in my backyard. So what would you put this into?
Oh, good.
Good. Yeah, I'm with you there. So
Absolutely
we're in
good.
agreement. We love the style. We love the colour.
And it's obviously very, very well made. And
Yeah.
impermeable. I mean, any old weather. Leave it out. You can leave it out.
Absolutely. They last for decades.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're standing in front here of the Water Aid Garden, designed by Tom Massey and Ji Han. I hope I pronounced your name right. I brought you to this because I think this is strikingly different to anything I've seen before. I think the metal structure, to me, it was very Moorish in feel.
Yes, it is. Well, it's almost sort of beyond Moorish, sort of Arab desert.
Yes,
Like
yes.
some ruin
yeah.
you find in the middle of the Sinai desert.
But it's a very pleasing form as well, isn't it?
Wonderful,
Very
yeah.
pleasing. And he's got that big alder. It's a-
The roof garden on it.
Yes, very clever.
Yeah.
And the whole point of the garden is that structure pulls the water down,
Yeah.
obviously. And then he's got other things that we
Feeds the streams.
feeds the streams, collects the water,
Yeah.
and then he's got the swales running through it, so they fill with water after rain, dry out in drought, and the plants are types that are adapted to both situations.
That's extraordinary.
So it's all very clever,
Yeah.
well thought through. And do you like his?
They're dying.
Oh yes, lots of bees. And do you like the metal gridway? So the idea is
Yes,
the water
yeah.
drains through that
Yeah.
as well.
I think it's very original, this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's possibly the most original garden here,
Yeah.
the bravest. I think, yeah, that I've not seen anything like this
Yeah.
before in all my 50-odd years at
Really?
Chelsea. I don't
Really?
think so, not like this. I think it's great. I hope it gets a good medal. So what will you give it? So are you going to do good, possibly, or not in my backyard?
Well, one has to say it's good. I mean, maybe I don't want it in my backyard, but I do think it's very good and beautiful at the same time, and thoughtful.
Yeah, yeah. And the planting
Yeah.
you like, not because next door you said was haphazard,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't call this
No,
haphazard.
it's much more. Well, it has to be more thought out if it's going to work in heat and drought.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. No, I think it's wonderful. Well done to Tom Massey. He's got 2 goods here. He's doing
Yeah,
well. So
wonderful.
I'm going to move you on to the next one now, Nicky.
Okay.
So, Nicky, I brought you to Tom Stuart Smith's garden for the NGS, National Garden Scheme.
Yeah.
Huge British tradition. And I knew you would love this. There was no doubt in my mind that you would not think, wow, I love it.
I do. Yeah, you're
You
right.
do. And what is it?
Well,
Can
I'm
you...
forced to always do adore white gardens. I can't resist them.
Very
all
simple.
white.
Yeah, and
All
they
white and green.
never fade, do they? We don't get bored of them.
Very Elsie Mendel,
Yes, I don't know who Elsie Mendel is.
great white and green decorator of the 30s.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Don't you Elsie Mendel?
No,
God, you're
I'm
an
not
educator.
into decor like you, Nicky. Mine's the garden,
She
not
did
the
wonderful
interior.
famous gardens at Versailles.
Right, I'll look her up. I'll look her up for sure. But what I thought was clever with this was these massive hazel trees. I've never seen such big hazel trees moved into a Chelsea garden.
No.
And they're just bold but beautiful, don't you
How
think?
deep do they have to plant these? Are they big?
Their root balls will probably be, I would think, about 900 wide by
Really?
about 6. They won't be more than 500-600 deep, probably. Yeah, and they often do them in these air pots, which are much better for the root system. They're
So you
very
can lift
clever.
them easily.
Yes, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
or they lift them, or else they lift them, pop them into the air pots, and they just grow better in them because the roots don't go just to the edge; they go all the way through. But the rhododendron David's
I love
eye,
having all the same one.
Yes,
That's
they
very
found them at the last minute, and they brought them in when they saw them. It was one
Well,
of those
are they
lucky
rare?
finds. No, but to find them in bloom for Chelsea because it's been an odd year.
Yeah.
So cold, and then suddenly very warm.
Yeah.
So it was a great find, and it just changes it. It just sort of makes it, that bit of formality really helps. Do you
Are
think?
they scented? No.
They are. On a still day, on Friday, I could really smell them. But
Yeah.
now I think there's so many people and the sun is so hot that they're not pumping it out perhaps as they might. But Tom's son is an architect and he did their little shed.
Lovely.
Beautifully done in green oak. And the whole idea is that it's for the volunteers. So when they come to the National Trust Gardens, they can put their backpacks in there, they can get their secateurs and all that sort of thing. And then obviously NGS known for the tea, so beautiful spread, no doubt made by Mary Berry, no doubt eaten by Alan Titchmarsh. Is
And
on
going to
the
be eaten by
table.
me, I hope.
Yeah, well, they do look good, don't they? I have to
Yes.
say.
Are we allowed to eat it?
I doubt that, but we can try. They might if you're good. And the pots, Tom grew in his own garden.
Really?
But what do you think the paving is?
Well, not brick, obviously.
It's not brick. Yeah, when I first saw it, I thought perhaps it was, but it's not because of the size. You know that.
Yeah, that's too big.
Yeah, it is York stone, but it's just
On
cut
end,
into
on
those.
end.
It's just cut into those long shapes. I said on end to Tom, and he said, "Well, not really. It's just cut like that. I think."
Isn't it beautiful?
It's beautiful, and it's the way they've dressed it or they've
Yes.
tooled it, so you get lots of texture. Is really nice.
Lovely.
But it is very on this hot sunny day. It just feels so relaxing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So if we judge this then, Nicky, and we have a good, possibly, or not in my backyard. I know what you're going to say. It's a boring question.
More than good. It's perfection.
Yeah, it's really good. Isn't it?
It's
Very
wonderful.
effective. Yeah.
And it is rather like my backyard, actually.
Yeah, no, that's grand. Okay, so so far is this your top one? So far?
Hard to say. Yes, if I had to choose one over
Yeah.
this.
Lovely.
Well, I know. This is also
Thank you.
James's Church.
Oh,
very
St
hard-
James's.
very
Oh,
hard to
right, you're
tell.
both. Yeah, yeah.
Very hard to tell. They're both perfection and so relaxing.